at the end of Avengers, they do show a short montage.
Yes.
But I'm saying that's the problem. That's where they drop the ball because everybody is cool after that.
No!
What subsequent movie do we see droves of people protesting the Avengers outside of Stark's tower?
You see,
all
that
kind of stuff.
Okay, there's your problem.
Those people
you
don't
want
disappear.
it to such a degree where
I want it real.
No, you want to drag it down into that stupid fucking.
No, I want it real. I don't want.
You want to drag it down into that stupid fucking muck that we have dealt with since 2005 in the comics.
I don't want wine coolers and everybody cool and then going sit on the porch.
It's not everybody's cool.
Everybody's cool.
No, it's not either everyone is cool or everyone is pissed off. There are facts.
I acknowledge that there probably are people in that universe that are upset, as you say. The point with the films is that
why blame the Avengers? Why not blame the goddamn aliens?
Exactly. But I'm sure there are people that blame also the Avengers.
You know what? Marvel's not trying to get to where they were in the comics. Where when I first started back in the comics in 2010, it was during Fear Itself,
right.
And I've been reading up through. I read back, got myself back into it, all that. You know what the worst, stupidest shit that I read during all that was? The issue after issue of people outside Avengers Mansion constantly protesting. Because you know what? If we got that realism that you want, that's what every superhero thing would be. Oh, we know where the superhero's going to be. We know where their headquarters is. There will literally always be people protesting there.
That makes sense. There should be people outside of Stark's home protesting him because some of his weapons probably killed people.
How is that entertaining?
It's not entertaining. It makes it real
and
grounded. Because you do have.
It's a movie. Therefore, it's supposed to be entertaining.
Guardians of the Galaxy that can be entertaining. And
A movie has one of two primary functions. Either be entertaining...
A movie doesn't have to be childish to be entertaining.
I never said it had to be childish.
It can be when you forget all those people that count and matter in the world that you're creating.
You don't have to focus on them. They can be in the background.
There's no focus, but they should have to exist.
It's just like they don't focus on the cosplayers standing outside Stark's tower, which exist, by the way.
Hang on. You want realism.
I just want stuff to
He
make
wants people
sense.
protesting outside Avengers Mansion 20%.
I want stuff to make sense.
Let's go to DC for a second. Mm-hmm. Superman stops a train. 50 people go flying forward 1,000 feet and smash their heads into the wall. Why aren't people going against Superman?
Because that's the whole point of Man of Steel. He's not Superman at that point.
He's just some asshole that's stopping a train instead of just picking the guy off the tracks.
That's why throughout the whole film he's struggling with this notion.
I'm going with Superman in general.
I'm just saying that's the crux of this whole universe, which Man of Steel was the impetus of, is that when you have this ability to stop a train and save 150 people, but 50 people die from the impact.
You're saving one guy.
You save one guy, right? And then you have to weigh that against the potential lives that might be.
Save one, kill 1,000. I thought it was.
That's the thing.
Save 1,000, kill one.
That's the thing.
Because. Yeah, but he's supposed to be a man of the people, and you want the realism from.
Yeah, but what you're saying is the exact point I'm making. That's the struggle that we don't see in any of the Marvel films.
We don't see it in fucking DC either. I just proved
we are now.
Superman.
We are now.
For the first time, Superman is going to be held accountable for the destruction.
He's not going to be held accountable.
But it's not the first time.
That's what they're in the movies. Yes.
Throughout all of Man of Steel, he's struggling with this notion of should he do something to intervene, because he doesn't know if the things that he's going to do is going to let, I don't know, a serial killer loose, or that should have died, or let some people that should have died over the course of their lives, he prevented. That's the whole point of it. That's the struggle. I have this power. What do I do with it? And that's the point.
But to say that every movie should be this brooding,
not every movie,
this brooding.
You do need some sense of connective tissue throughout your worlds, because you can't.
You hate connective tissue. You bitch about connective tissue.
You can't do these things with impotence and then just say, "Oh, it's fine because it's fun." And no, that doesn't work.
You see, that's the thing. You're saying either there is all the consequences or there are no consequences.
You gotta have some consequences.
There are some consequences.
Sense.
Yes.
And you can't be flippant about those consequences. When New York gets destroyed, I want to see pissed off people. because that's a city of 7 million people.
Yeah, and they're bitching at the government.
And no one died.
No, people died.
Yeah, but we don't know about that. We don't know any of that. There's no mention of that at all.
Because it's not Joe the Hot Dog Vendor, the movie. It's fucking Captain America.
Because
we would not know about all the people that died at the end of Man of Steel if it wasn't for this next movie.
So here's the wait. So you wanted Age of Ultron to basically open up with, instead of them having a party, them sitting around brooding about, man, yeah, we've done some good hunting down Hydra, but all those people that died in New York City, I'm still not over it. Oh my! Wait, actually, no, fuck you! Iron Man 3! Iron Man 3 was all about that!
Iron Man 2, he had to sit in front of a federal convergence.
That was more about the weapon that he made than about what happened in Iron Man.
But he had to
He had to justify him having it, and it was a lot about him, about what he did in Iron Man, because that's what showed the world, I have this weapon.
Right.
Iron Man 3 is him dealing with what happened there.
That's the other one. That's the other one.
And actually, thinking back to it, Winter Soldier, they talk about it too. Winter Soldier talks about the Battle of Manhattan and how everything changed.
Right, but again, it's just a cursory mention. But then those things go up, and they start randomly shooting at the end. Granted, at some of the stuff is shooting at the actual other ships, the other airships.
Oh, okay, you talk about the 3 helicarriers.
But there's fucking debris falling all over the place. And explosions. You're telling me no one got hurt? No one on the ground?
Of course people got hurt.
That's the problem. That's the problem I'm saying I'm having.
Yes.
At the beginning of Avengers 2,
and they dealt with fell out.
You know what? They should have sat around and said, you know what? We break shit. Maybe we should be more careful. But that shit never happens.
Maybe that's why they're doing goddamn surgical strikes.
It never happens.
Maybe that's why they're doing surgical strikes.
Surgical strikes that take out city blocks?
But
that is not a surgical strike.
That was a surgical strike. What happened at the very beginning when they're attacking Hydra?
That's how they get out of it. They say, like, we're going to hit them where they actually are, which makes sense. If you got intel, you go to the end.
But if you have
I'm talking about all the other things.
Let's see here. Villains attacking a city, that's what they're there for. They're there to invade, attack the city.
Right.
You can't have the good guys going, wait, time out, guys. People are getting hurt. Let's go over here.
Rah-Rah wants the irrational people who sit there and bitch about how Spider-Man's a menace because my hot dog cart got turned over. I know you're talking about bigger scale. I'm just saying, when the Rhino slammed through that jewelry store, Spider-Man was there, so therefore he's at fault too.
Jonah would actually agree with you.
Right, but that's who he's looking for. He's looking for J. Jonah Jamesons to show up more often, and he's looking for them to sit there
and just people that have suffered from the consequences of the Avengers' actions.
But here's the thing. Why blame the Avengers? Why not blame the aliens? Which makes more sense.
Because there will always going to be people, right or wrong, that will blame the Avengers. But that doesn't mean they don't.
Who says that they're in the majority?
That doesn't even matter. It
yes,
doesn't
that
matter
does.
how many there still will be people.
No.
And the scale at which the destruction is wrought, I don't think that they're going to be just a handful of nuts sitting outside, the Daily Bugle. There will be groups.
Okay, here's what we're looking at. So you're saying that these people would definitely be always outside Stark's tower.
Yes.
What about their lives?
There are groups that fund that shit. That's why there's constantly protesters outside abortion clinics. And that's why there's constantly protesters in front of the White House whenever there's something major. There are people that...
and by the way, as far as your no consequences things, there were consequences when Hulk went fucking apeshit psycho in Age of Ultron. That's why they had to get the fuck out of South Africa.
Right.
Because, holy shit, the consequences are about to come back.
Right.
Yes, they literally dodged them at that point. They didn't just poof go away.
Right.
They literally went on the run and had to hide out at the farm.
But that was also more of them not knowing what had just happened to them. They all went apeshit. It wasn't just the Hulk. They all did.
But one of the big reasons... They
had to reassess.
Right. But the reason why they went to Hawkeye's farm and not Tony's tower was because of the Hulk, because of the consequences.
So when the next movie's made, in my line of logic, I would like to see someone, whether it's Fury or someone from the UN or someone like that, go to them and be like, you know what you just did to a South African city 6 months ago, right? how are you going to prevent that from happening again? And what do we do about the people that were hurt during that
All right, I got a few things. If you don't mind, I just want to get them all out, like, straight,
Sure.
boom, boom, boom. All right, my counterpoints to that are, one, that's fucking boring. Like, that, to me,
that's a flippant. Don't even start.
No, to me,
that's a flippant thing.
this is what I'm saying. To me, saying there, that's probably, if I need to take a piss, I'm going to go take a piss at that point of, okay, number 2. We're talking about movies that are probably about 3-4 years apart in the making between one Avengers movie and the next.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the way Hulk goes, those are pretty much his only appearances. Robert Downey Jr., by the way, did get him into Civil War, which is nice.
Was he in Civil War?
He wasn't. Robert Downey Jr.? Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I mean, the Hulk.
The Hulk was not going to be. Oh, no. Oh, you mean in the comics.
Yeah.
In the comics, no, because...
he was off on Planet Hulk then.
Well, that's because, the Illuminati strapped him into a shuttle and shot him into space. And they sent him cheesy movies, the best they could find. I think I've done this joke before.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, but with the amount of time there, and it's not all that entertaining or great a thing, and there's bigger, better things to deal with. Especially, like, all right, so we have the Infinity Gauntlet about to show up in the next movie. Like, fully. Next Avengers movie, we're going to have Thanos as the villain. We're going to have the Infinity Gauntlet. And if there's more than even a side mention of what's ultimately a little incident from the last movie, it's going to feel like too much just bogging down this movie.
That's all. That doesn't make any sense to me.
See,
And
that makes perfect
sense. It's your personal preference too, Joe. That's what I have arguing with all these points, because I'm trying to have you.
But this is your personal preference too.
I'm trying to have it make sense within the movies that we are watching, and just doesn't make sense.
It might make sense.
Why would I care about Thanos showing up? He's just another sociopath in a group of sociopaths, aside from Iron Man, which actually tried to deal with some of the shit that he's done, and maybe
Cap never tried to deal with it.
Cap and Winter
Bruce
Soldier.
Banner never tried to deal with it. Hawkeye never tried
Bruce
to...
deals with it by not being in movies, but everybody else
By not being in movies. If I'm not around, I can't break shit.
everybody else deals with it by having shawarma and drinking mead. I mean, are we? I mean, this is why
Okay,
should
wait,
I care about
wait.
it? And I honestly don't care about the Infinity Gauntlet movies because A, they're going to handle it shit poorly because all the end trailers. Now I'm going to go handle it, and he grabs the gauntlet and goes. That's not even fucking. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm good. If you can't... to have the big bad, you say the classic line of, you can't find good help these days, essentially. If you want something done right, do it yourself. Like, to have the big bad do that? Sure.
No, it doesn't. Why doesn't he just go get it himself?
That's what he's doing!
Because we need plot
That's
lines
what
for
he's
movies.
doing.
It's just another stupid villain, like Ronan. If he had just started off by getting the gems himself, we would have avoided all this.
But
instead,
he's
we have
arrogant.
this.
But
We have
he's
this.
arrogant, like many villains.
Yeah, but if in the face of obtaining,
How is
ultimate
that any
power-
different than the Joker not just walking up and killing Batman? And go, because,
He's got to find him, and there's also a deeper relationship there.
No, he has
They're two sides of the same.
He has
coin.
his whole thing. So from what I could see in that movie, that came later.
Mhm.
From what I could see in the movie, that came later after he had actually had a few encounters with him. Initially, his entire reason for why he hadn't done it was, well, why not get paid to do what you're good at?
Yeah, but that's
How's that any different than?
that's what he told the mob bosses.
How come the Red Skull then? How is the Red Skull a good villain then? Because he did not immediately go after this upstart captain himself. He sent waves of Hydra goons, which were going to get destroyed. He had the Cosmic Cube. The Red Skull could have just walked in and killed Captain America. Easy, bing, bang, boom, done.
Because there's a big difference between Thanos.
Why didn't
and the
Aldrich
Red Skull.
Killian just kill Tony Stark?
Because they all have interests outside of killing Stark. He's trying to run a company. He's trying to do which has a public face. And you see, and he still needs money. He's not getting ultimate power. He still needs resources to do things, a place to live, men to hire. He still has to, do those things.
But his whole point was to get revenge on Stark from what he did 10 years prior.
But that doesn't make that plays right into what I'm saying, Knock. He still needs resources to accomplish that. He's not out in space because he can breathe in space like Thanos. Doesn't have like powers of a Titan, a cosmic entity like Thanos. He doesn't need any of those things. So why didn't he just go down and take these gems?
Because to him,
that may be a god stepping down to handle the lesser beings. But then we're getting into all this other stupid shit, which really doesn't make any sense to me.
Why does Galactus send a herald?
Because they're faster. They move faster than he does.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but
well,
if you send a herald,
That's why he has more than one.
Here's what you're saying, though.
And it's a big
Here's what you're
universe.
saying. No supervillain should ever use a henchman.
No.
No
that's not
supervillain
what I'm
has
saying.
No big bad. Once you get to a certain power level, you no longer need henchmen and should not use them. There's no drama
That's
there.
the flaw of.
And remember,
of
this is
villainy,
a
though,
movie.
Is that they are arrogant and that they don't want to stoop down to hit lesser buildings.
Yes!
Beings. But you know what? It's when your lesser underlings are like failing left and right. You gotta.
Not really
do
left
something.
or right. Two.
After the first one, he should have just come down and said, you know what, this is my big plan. But no, I'll entrust it to
He's
this
running
other guy
several
who,
things.
Who hates me. I have all kinds of
He
problems.
doesn't know that Ronan hates him.
But we're getting off topic here.
we got
topic of the
we got off
situation
topic
is-
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, because I don't want to get into another Guardians of the Galaxy debate when we're talking about the trailer that dropped this weekend. I just don't want to do
Of
it.
Onavustus. I'm running out of different ways to say that. I'm probably gonna take like an hour
Dawn
later
from
this
Justice.
week. What?
Yeah.
Dawn from Justice. Have you read Hawkeye versus Deadpool?
Oh no.
Yeah. At the end, she says, "I'm Dawn of Justice."
Ha. That's hilarious. I like that. I might actually have to pick up a trade of Hawkeye versus Deadpool.
It's good.
I've seen some good stuff. Well, hell, just Hawkeye dressed as Hawkeye and talking to Hawkeye.
Hawkeye Justice Hawkeye.
Kate
Hawkeye.
Bishop Hawkeye dressed as Mash's Hawkeye talking to Clint Barton Hawkeye.
And
It's hilarious.
Barton dresses up as Ultron for Halloween.
Yeah, because Barton's an ass.
Yeah. Okay. So we're pretty much at the limit. If
Yeah.
we want to cut it there, it'd probably be a good point because we can.
Yeah. We were
can
going to talk about the Fan 4, but we're going to probably do that next week.
Yeah.
Because, you know what? Why shouldn't we push it off? The studio keeps doing it.
But I'm pumped.